Welcome, everybody. Again, this is the Canva overview training session 1 of 4. We have our lovely Nicole Outla here with us. She is part of the Uplift team, and she has great knowledge on Canva trainings. So I'll hand it off to you, Nicole.
Thanks so much, Hessa. Hello, everyone. So I want to preface this by saying I don't feel like I'm a Canva expert. I'm really just a lover of Canva, and I've used it since day one. And so I just have a lot of self-taught knowledge, and I'm just willing to share and explore. So there's some features that you might know of that I'm not touching on, or you have questions. I want this to be an interactive session, just because I feel like that's when we learn the most, when we have that dialogue. So I am going to take a look and try to find my slides. They've disappeared. So just give me 1 second to do that. All right. So I'm going to toggle between the slide deck, and then I'm going to probably go off the slide deck and switch over to the live platform just to share some things for our sessions following today. I'm going to also minimize the screen here just so I can see where I'm at. All right, so welcome to the workshop series. This one, we're going to be doing just an overview of the design studio itself and providing some context as far as the features of the certain buttons and the functionality here. So I wanted to just, of course, I'm not going to be able to. All right, here we go. So just a little bit about me. I'm a mom. I'm a creative at heart. I really find myself these days acknowledging the community developer role that I play in the region, across the state, but also I'm a small business advocate and someone that really just leans on being an advocate for small business. And of course, I talk a lot of times to our groups about using platforms and tools that are free to minimize costs when you're just starting. And so Canva is definitely one of those things, and it has been for me as an entrepreneur. So I really think that this is just a great tool for folks that will allow you to really just leverage that and really make your flyers and designs pop with the different features that Canva has to offer. It really helps to broaden what you present to your clients or customers or citizens, whoever your audience is. So first, we're going to just do, so to circle back, this is 1 of 4 workshops. So Tuesday for the month of November at 7, we'll be going over some things for Canva. This will be a more or less just like going over the features of the site, of the platform. As I mentioned, we're going to do a little bit of kind of hands-on things, just having you all play with that a bit. I'm sure most of you are comfortable with Canva because you joined today. So I'd like to also just ask you to put in the chat, if you are someone that uses Canva or you have experience with it, just kind of chime in there and let me get a feel of who's in the room and what experience you have with Canva. That would also help me to guide the sessions as I move forward. Then we're going to do a modeling demo where we're going to just start on a template, and then we will start with a blank slate, and I'll just show you some ways that you can really use a blank canvas or start from something that's already in the database of thousands probably of templates that you could use. And then we're going to do some practice. So if you are on a computer, that's probably going to be the best way for you to get a great experience with using Canva. I will note that the features are slightly rearranged on your mobile device. So if you have a tablet, that might be a little bit different from your phone, and that's definitely going to be different on your laptop. So probably the best experience you'll receive is if you're using a laptop. But we can talk a little bit about where those features will be on those other devices as well. So we're going to go ahead and switch gears, and I'm going to kind of go over the buttons and the places in just in the platform. So feel free, if you have a question, come off mute, because I can't see right now what's happening in the chat until I stop sharing or switch screen sharing. And then, I'll be able to see that. But just feel free to come off mute and ask a question. I do ask, if you do come off mute, that you let me know what your name is and where you're, zooming in from. That just will be helpful for context. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Please let me know if you can still see my screen. I'm now on the Canva platform. Can everybody see?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So Canva recently did a great update where they kind of explored this concept of magic, if you will. And so the Magic Studio is essentially like AI integrated into the platform. So first in the studio, you have just your home page, this is our landing page where we are now. So similar to like if you're on Facebook, those 3 lines, I believe it's 3 lines, it's your main menu. And so you can show the main menu or you can hide it. Also over to the left, you can toggle back to home. And the home is just the page that we're reviewing now. When you're looking at projects, that's going to tell you all of the things that you've created, all the things that have been shared with you, and just all of your recent projects that you're working on. So as you all can see, I have a lot of things happening. I've used Canva for family events. I use it for work. I use it for my business. I've used it for other affiliated networks that I'm a part of. It's just a really good tool to be able to make a quick design right away. So let me just go back to, I'm going to actually refer to my notes again to keep me on task so that I stay in line with our time, just because we have an hour and I want to make sure everyone has the best use of this experience. So just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start, let's see. All right, so at the top, if you want to create a design, you see the button here to the top right. And then you can either click what's suggested or you can search. So there are multiple ways that you can start a new template. You can go over a new design. You could go over to the templates tab and you can search by category. And when you search by category, what's really neat about Canva is that if there is a upcoming event or social day or some sort of holiday, they're going to already have some things in the templates. As you can see across the top, it will just have things that are relatable to the time of the year. Also, you can create a design when you go back to the home page by just scrolling down. I'm sorry, let me go back. When you go over to templates, you would be able to search the featured collections and really just choose a design. Or if you want something very specific, you can, search through that very specific task. So for the sake of today and working with Uplift, I'm going to just type in tourism and say you're doing a project, or you're wanting to create a graphic, whether it be for social media, for a flyer, or even for a presentation. It's going to provide you all of the templates that have been created for or around tourism. So what I'd like to share here is just based on the graphics, you're going to want to make sure that you're looking at the size and the type of template that this is designed for. So what I'd like to do, it's a little bit easier to walk through this process, I believe, if we have a design that we're working from. So what I'd like to do now is just choose a design, and this is getting a little bit ahead, but we're gonna come back to just looking at the layout, but it's easier to focus on one specific graphic. So I'm just going to choose this one. and then we're going to hit customize. So the one thing that I would note about Canva is it's best. It has better features when you pay for the pro account. And the pro account, I believe the last I checked was around $13.99 a month, $12.99, $13.99, which is very inexpensive. The pro account allows you to open up and have access to other features that you wouldn't normally have access to with a free account. The free account is really good. However, there will be some images that will have the watermark that you aren't able to really utilize because of the upgrade there. So with this particular graphic, let's say we like the color, but we want to change the color. You're going to go up here and select your color. Say we want to do it red. I don't know. So you choose red. The unique thing about this is that you can change one portion of it and not the other, but you have to click and it will tell you which image you're going to be editing when you hover over that particular area. So it also will give you the option of changing all of the places that have this teal color to red. So let's go ahead and do that and click change all. All right, so with that, you want to maybe edit the images that are there. Again, you're going to hover over that particular image and say, you know what, I like that there's an airplane here, but what if I wanted to go back and do a different airplane picture? So you're going to click either here at the top, edit photo, and you can maybe remove the background. And I don't know that that's going to do it there. Probably not for this one. Let's try it another way. So let's go back over to the side. Now this black bar over here is always going to be where you will be able to upload photos. You will be able to edit your text or add other elements. So what we're looking for is photos from the Canva's stockpile. So Canva has thousands of photos that you can choose from. So we're going to click photos and then we're going to just type in airplane. All right. So as you can see at the top, it gives you more ability to like specify more specifically what type of airplane or what do you want to look for specifically. So let's just say we want to just put plane there. It's going to be, you know, you're able to just drill down and, you know, find different images of a plane. So these photos are like photos that have a background, but as you can see, this one doesn't. So you can just, let's move that out of the way. You can click here and then this toolbar that comes up will allow you to edit this particular photo. So what we're going to do is detach the image. So we've detached the image. Now you can use just your keyboard and click delete. And then you can then move, oops, went to the wrong place. Sorry. So as you can see, this is very sensitive. And if you don't get it in the right place, it will move where it wants to go. So I'm going to just click undo until I get back to my original place. So as you can see, this overlaps some. So you would just toggle left or right, or you could completely remove the image, remove the frame. I'm sorry. So to remove the frame, you would go down, you would right click on your mouse and detach the image, click the frame and delete it. And then you could move, sorry. Do the same for all of them. So then you have the full image of the airplane there, and you could remove the other images and frames. Just basically, you can easily manipulate the document to look how you want it to look. And of course, through just toggling and playing with the mouse, you can see, okay, this is probably a good picture, but minimizing it would be better. So you can do that there just by kind of moving around with the image. The same applies for any text. Looking at text, you're going back over to the black toolbars to the left. And here, which is very, very fun, this new feature up here, you can do magic write. So say you wanted to put something here that was a little bit more fun, as they say, or maybe you wanted to sprinkle some fairy dust. And all of these things are just AI trying to predict what you would want the document or the graphic to look like. So just for fun, we'll just click, we want it to be more fun. So when you utilize the Magic Write prompts, it will start to draft something for you. This feature is mostly likely for a document or something that is going to be a different type of graphic. So we don't want to necessarily try this out, but it's, again, an AI feature. It's also something that's like a magic assistant, as they call it. So, or a Canva assistant. So we'll just click out of this for now. But to edit your text here, there's so many different fonts that you can choose from. So let's go ahead and change the font. You're going to go up to the top. You can change the font at the top here, and it's going to populate over to the left as well. If you know that there's a specific font that you'd like to use, you can search that font by typing it in, or you can scroll down to maybe what you recently used or a font that's more appealing to you based on looking at what you like and what you have a feel for. So what I'd like to call your attention to is just the types at the top and the text styles. So you can look here to see, are you looking for something more corporate? And if you change it to corporate, all of the corporate fonts will show up. So there's so many to choose from. And what if maybe you're trying to keep your graphics all the same across the board. You want maybe them to all have the same font. And you don't want to have to remember that font every time. A great feature that Canva has is a brand kit. So you can create a brand kit based on your frequently used fonts. The great thing about that brand kit is you can edit it and change it at any time. In addition, which I think I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but for different projects, you can have different brand kits. So for the sake of this particular graphic, what we'll do is just look at the brand kit, and I won't edit it because this is the brand kit that I use for a particular project, but I want to show you how you can make those changes. So what will happen with your brand kit is each time you're prompted to do a new graphic, you can go to all of your fonts, your colors, all of that, like you see, title, subtitle, heading, all of those are basically fleshed out for you to have a personalized brand kit. So we're going to look under here. And as you can see, this brand kit is for one of my organizations, the Bertie Business Network. Our brand colors are a series of blues and white and black and gray. So basically what you can do is either you can search for a specific color. So when you add new, you can scan across, or you can, if you know the number, which some people may, but I don't. So I just scan across and see what looks good. And that's how I chose the color based on that. Also, if you have a logo that you want to start with, maybe you don't know the color, you can upload the logo to your Canva platform, and it will tell you what colors are close to the colors in your logo, which is a great feature. I'm going to show you guys that in just a bit. So, anyway, going down, you can do all of your fonts depending on what you're using. Additionally, there's some other features that I haven't even discussed, like your brand voice, your photos, any other graphics or icons that you want to keep at bay for all of your projects. You can upload those or add those here as well. And of course, like I said, at any time you can edit and change those, or, just delete them altogether if you no longer want to use them. All right, so that was a rabbit hole, which can happen with Canva. So I'm going to go back to the fonts for now. So looking at the fonts, again, we said we were going to look at corporate. I'm going to just choose one. Let's see. Let's go with Hammersmith 1. So the great thing about it, Canva, is maybe you don't want the graphic, the text to overlap the background. So you can manipulate that as well. But I'm going to move this up here to the corner. And maybe I don't want the page rip this way. Maybe I want to add more color here. Oops, hold on. It's not working for me. Cancel. Okay, it's not working for me. There we go. All right, so as you can see, this is just an element that is in the design studio. So what if I, wanted to move it closer and put it closer together so I had more space for my text? I'm able to see it a little bit clearly, and you just can move it around. You just really have to the great thing about working with Canva is you're going to have to test out a few different types of graphics or documents, just to see the lay of the land and how those things are organized. But anyway, again, back to this. So with the text, if you want to change the color of the font, you can go up to the text color, and just, again, those colors will, the color palettes will pop up for you. So here, as you can see, to what I was speaking to earlier, if you have a photo, Canva will extract those photos, those colors from that photo, so that you can integrate those into your font, so that it's, matching in the color schemes that you already have. So we're going to go ahead and just use the one that's listed here. We'll just choose just a random one, and there you are. You can change that really easily, and just really, make it work for you however you see fit. With any box that's, highlighted, you can delete and remove until it makes sense for you and what you're trying to accomplish. All right, so we're going to get back to just the buttons and what they do, but we'll keep this here as a focal point for the discussion. All right, so we've gotten on to the text. We talked about brand. Next, we'll kind of go over the upload feature. So with the upload feature, you can upload photos that you have already used, or that you would like to incorporate in your design, so that you can add them to your image that you're working on. I don't have anything prepared in an image here that I've already uploaded, but I recently used my QR code, so we'll use that. So you would just basically click on the image that you want to use. Either you can just pull it over, or you can double click it to move it over. As you can see, the image that I moved over has already landed into a populated frame. So you want to make sure that your image is sized correctly. So you would just maybe alter that image to fit the space that you need, and you can do that by two ways. You can right click, but you can also double click, and when you double click, you can then edit by cropping or expanding or changing the size. What I like to do is cheat, so I'll just undo it, and you can do this many ways, and just place it back. And what I did there was I just deleted the existing frame. So that's one thing about working with templates. There are a lot of pre-selected text boxes and frames that will be in the image. So one of the things that you will have to do when you're using a template is to make sure that either those are deleted, or if you don't feel comfortable with moving all those things around, just starting from a clean slate so that you have a blank canvas to start from. So with that, now I've moved it over. Maybe I want to, minimize it. You can just take it from the top here, just like you would do like a Word document or a PowerPoint, and just minimize it until the size is appropriate. But of course, with something like a QR code, you want to make sure that it's got the full image and it's not cropped out so that it can be scanned. All right, so we'll move this for now. All right, so that is the upload. So the great thing about the upload feature is that you can either record yourself and upload that into an image, which those would work best for, of course, Reels or some sort of online feature or something that where people could click and access. So just keeping that in mind. Also, the 3 dots up here next to upload files, you can upload directly from your computer or from any of the places that are listed: Dropbox, Instagram, Google Drive. What will happen when you click maybe Facebook, if your Facebook is not connected, it will ask you to log in and things like that. But once you do have those synced, you'll be able to just add those files from the places they're listed. So moving further down to the draw feature. The draw feature, I haven't used that at all, actually. But the draw feature allows you to freely draw on your image. Maybe you want to sign it, maybe you want to add a personal touch. I don't know why would people use this, but this is an option for you if you wanted to freely draw. It likely would be easier to be used on a tablet or something that you maybe have a pen or a stylus to help you to guide along. But this is, again, a feature that you can use to add to your project. All right, so let's see. So right here towards the bottom, you can hide, or as you can see, you can control / to get rid of this. So we're gonna just click that away. Next on the toolbar here, you have the apps feature. For this, I haven't used this a ton either, but you can search and integrate Canva apps into your designs. So as you can see, let's see, they have like the chart. I have used the charts and audio, but actually I've used some of other these features down here that are listed. But like we'll talk about this maybe when we get into our infographic week. But if you wanted to show data or wanted to really integrate some facts with visuals into your graphics, then the chart feature is something that you would be able to use. And I'll click on it just to show you what that looks like. So of course, all the types of charts come up, and you might be thinking, if you haven't used this, like, how do I put my data into the chart? So I'm going to give you just a quick example. Use a pie chart. So when you click on the chart feature, you can add your chart and the data with the Excel sheet that's displayed here. You could also upload your own Google Sheets or CSV data to add to the pie chart. So for an example, here, as you can see, the item, and we'll just say the item is, I don't know, chambers. And maybe you want to show that you have 20 chambers in your association. I don't know, just making stuff up. So as you can see over to the right, that data is changed on the chart, and your chart reflects the size of that number. And you can also, with that, either with your settings, you can choose to use percentages or numbers. And also by clicking on settings, you can choose to not show the labels or show the labels. So those things you can manipulate with using or integrating charts into your graphics. All right, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to keep moving. All right, so that was the apps feature. So this is a little bit past like the beginner phase or the folks who are just really trying to make a graphic, but I just wanted to show you all of the options that you can utilize with Canva. All right, so continuing down here, and we'll definitely land there a little bit, stay there a little bit longer in the future workshops if you choose to join. All right. So we've already talked about the project tab. This is basically where you'll see, you know, all of your current projects and things that have been shared with you. Out just to stop for a second, with the Canva Pro feature, you're able to show and share and have teams with your graphics and your projects to collaborate. So this is a great way for you. Maybe you are working with a team to develop a graphic and you want multiple people to have input. You can click the share button and then you can change the collaboration. So, and you can also make it so that anyone with the link can access your graphic. Maybe I've seen a small business do this, which is a very innovative idea. They didn't want to use a lot of paper menus, so they uploaded their menu to Canva. They made it accessible with anyone with the link. They used the QR code and linked it on a stand in their restaurant, and you scan the QR code to view the menu. I thought that was a great idea. And that is, sustainable, and as well as, it's economical, because then you're not spending a lot of money on printing. And when you need to update the menu, you just update it in Canva, and the updates are live real time for your folks. So just wanted to mention that since I was over here talking about projects and sharing. All right, so moving on, we kind of touched on the photos. Again, you can upload audio. Of course, you have to have the rights to, if you wanted to upload your favorite song, or you wanted to upload a song that's, that goes along with your graphic or creation, your project. However, Canva also has, their royalty-free music and a lot of instrumental things that you can add to the graphic. As you know, with Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, those other platforms, they also have that royalty-free music that you can upload. So Canva is the same, where you can upload some music to your graphic or your design. All right, so I think we're good on time. So I'm going to just keep going through. Now, there are a lot of features and a lot of things that we just may not cover until we start working on a design. What I'd like to do, if that happens, is just really take the time to, talk about that as we come upon it, because there's just, a lot of seemingly like lecture. And I just want to make sure that, I'm just kind of giving the basics as far as getting started with creating. Again, really not knowing a good pulse of who's had lots of experience with Canva before, and just, ways that people feel comfortable in navigating that. So, all right, so we're going to go on to the next one, which is the background. As you can see, we've changed the color for the background, and that could be, done with just colors, like background colors, or you can use designs or patterns. So Canva has, again, a great library of different graphics that you can use and upload to change the background. So let's just do this. Let's start over here. So I'm going to just go home, and we're going to create a design, and we're going to just we're going to start with a blank Instagram post, because next week we're going to be talking about doing a post for social media, I believe. So going back to the background, if, you wanted to change your background for, landscape or, whatever, there's so many different options. You could just, click on or search something specific. So let's just, look for Thanksgiving coming up. Let's just search Thanksgiving. And of course you say, hey, maybe want foliage. Okay. So you double click that. Oop, there we go. You can either double click or you can just drag it over. Either works. And you can choose to, if you wanted to maybe put some text over that, you can go up to transparency. Now, transparency is going to make it, the background lighter for you. So right now, of course, it's at 100%. You can lighten it all the way. So that way the text is readable. So easy to read over the background. So going back up to the text, which we briefly touched on, I'm going to show you another feature that you can use with the text feature. So Canva has some font combinations where these combinations are really like print ready, and also for marketing and advertising folks, it really could be a great way to like jumpstart your graphic without trying to put the right text together to, to make it look good. As you can see, there's the little crown here. That basically is the Canva Pro, and you'll see if you have a basic or a free account, it will show you what's pro and what's eligible for you to use. So I'll just go ahead and click this baked fresh. Okay, there we go. All right, so as you can see, it works here for the fresh, but we might need to change the color for baked. So as you can see right now, the purple text, the text is highlighted because you see the purple box. So it's already ready for you to edit. So you just click on text color. And from here, as you can see, because we used that image, it's giving us some options that are coming from that background. So we could change the color. And again, as you can see, it pops up to ask, do you want to change all colors? And by clicking yes, it changes all colors. All right, so here, because this is a font combination, it's showing as a grouped text field. And that just means both of these words are together. And it looks like I have two because I clicked too quickly. So I'm going to just delete this one. All right. So if you wanted to still use the combination, but you wanted to separate them, you could click ungroup, and it's just going to allow you to, hold on, it didn't. Okay, there we go. It made it into basically, well, that's the opposite. So it made it easier for you to kind of manipulate the text box and move, or it's supposed to make it easier for you to manipulate the text box and move it. And say you wanted to just change the wording or whatever you wanted to say, you just be able to hover over it, select it, and type in the word that you want to use. So because it's showing here that, when you highlight a text, it will give you the option to link something. So say you wanted to link to your website or a link to an external site using this graphic. A good example would be if you wanted to embed this graphic in your email signature. But when folks hover over the word baked, they would be able to link that to you. They would be able to connect to your website or whatever external link you wanted them to go to. So here, by clicking on that link icon, you can just enter in your link. You can either grab it from the URL and just paste it there, or you could type it in. One thing I will say about using the link feature is that will not work, of course, as you most of you will know, that will not work on social media. It needs to be embedded. So an email or a document, like a PDF is where that link will populate. So just for context for folks. But all right, so that gives you the option to link, and yeah, so that's that feature. It's coming up at about 8, and I probably will pause in about 5 minutes at 7:50 to do some Q&A. Hopefully there are some questions from you all. All right, so the font combinations are a great way to just jumpstart your graphic, and really just you can still manipulate and change the text, the font types, but that again is totally up to you. So saying wanting to use your brain kit, you can just scroll to your brain kit and use the fonts that are there. So yeah, I'm just gonna change this just so folks can see. All right, so let's see, what else can I go over here for today? Let's see. All right, so under the file tab, just like with a Word document, you can choose to do those same things that we talked about in the toolbar, create a new design, import files. You can change the language and the settings. The settings, you could show things like the grid marks and the ruler so that you have your text aligned if you needed that. Also, say if you wanted to use the same template that you've already started, but you want to edit one for, an internal document or an internal communication and one for external, and you didn't want to, and you wanted to continue to capture what you've already worked on, you can make a copy of the document. Or say if you wanted to use the same document or the same template that you've started, and you wanted to use it across multiple functions. You wanted to maybe use it as a letter. You wanted to use it as a graphic. You wanted to use it as a story, as an infographic. You can also resize the image as well. And I'm going to show you that just a second. But to make a copy, you would just click make a copy there. And what it did was save the old one and it started a new one. So as you can see at the top, it says copy of, and it'll show you that it's a copy. Now, of course, you can always come in here and rename it, and it'll save that way as well. So when you save it there, when you click share and you download it, this will be your file name. You can also share directly with Canva. On your social media. Again, that has to be connected. Or if you want it to print with Canva, you could do that also. I've printed with Canvas on several occasions. It's been very great quality. Let's just say we wanted to make this into a sticker. They're going to already have dimensions for the types of pre-selected templates that they can print. So it'll give you a notice that they're going to resize it. Let's just say we're going to click through and resize it. With that, then you can, of course, tell them how many you want, what the finish is, what the size is. For me, because I'm in Bertie, you can usually pick up at FedEx Kinko's, or you can have it sent, because now Canva has a partnership with Office Depot. You can pick it up there. However, depending on the quantity and the type of actual of printing, you may have to have it delivered versus a pickup, but it'll tell you if that's possible when you go through this. So the delivery is free. It's pretty fast. You can usually print at great quality things from Canva. I haven't had any problems with the many documents that I've had printed. So I think that was all for now. I'm just curious if anyone has any questions and also feedback for what's to come. Would love to know what specific things you want to go over, and we can really take a look at integrating those into other sessions. If you'll be joining the other sessions, this it was really an overview just to get people familiar. I hesitate with jumping right in because I want to make sure that equally across the board, that everyone is just really comfortable with navigating the space before we jump in. But happy to take any questions or feedback from folks.